Hi there, I'm Pam Carr and I'm going to show you today how to make a spring pair of fingerless gloves. They are really basic fingerless gloves and I'm using a 4-weight worsted weight yarn here. I've just got Craft Smart value yarn, but you can use any 4-weight worsted weight yarn, and a 5mm hook, which is an H hook. You're going to need a yarn needle for sewing in the ends, and you're going to need a pair of scissors. And you can adapt these by putting a heart on them. You could put a flower on them. You could make them extra special if you wanted to put some appliques on the top. But today I'll just be showing you how to make the basic gloves. There is a written pattern on my blog, and it shows you how to make it in 3 sizes. There's small, medium, and large. I'm going to be making the medium ones today, and for that I'm going to be chaining 24. Okay, and when you're doing gloves, it's always a good idea to make sure that you chain quite loosely so it's not really tight when you're trying to put your hand through the wrist hole. Okay, so we're going to go for 24. You'll hear my dogs. I'm house sitting some dogs and they've just come into the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and keep chaining until you get to 20. Here we are. We've got the 24 stitches that you need to chain, 24 chains, and I'm going to just hold it so you can see all the V's going nicely down there. I'm going to run my thumb down the top of these V's until we get to the last one where that knot is, and I'm going to put my hook into that chain, put the yarn over, pull it through that last chain and pull it through the first chain, and that's made a nice loop, which is going to be where our wrist is going to go. This is the bottom of the glove. Okay, so I'm going to chain 2, and now we're going to work into these chains going around. Okay, so hold them so you've got the hearts showing up, and then we're always going into the right part of the chain. So I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to make a double crochet into the first of these chains. Yarn over, pull it up, yarn over, pull it through 2, yarn over, pull it through 2. And we're going to do a double crochet into each one of these chains, so we should end up with 24. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to close the door because the dogs are playing. Here we go. Go into the next one. And we're going to go all the way around till we get to the end. Okay? Into each of these chains. You can see them there. We go in, yarn over, go right into that one. They're having a bit of fun in the next room. And then into the next one, all the way around. Okay, this is pretty easy. So as you get close to the end, make sure that you check that the bottom chain is all at the bottom, and this is where you started the chain, so that's there at the bottom. So when you join up, you're not twisting it, that you're joining it up this way. So we've got 22 double crochets on here now. So we're going to go into this one and do 23, and then we're going to go into the next one, right into that little section there, do 24. And then we're going to join it to the top of the chain 2 that we did right at the beginning of this round. There. Pull it through as a slip stitch, okay? I'll show you again. You go into the top of the chain 2, you put your yarn over, pull it through, and pull it through again. That is a slip stitch. Now we're going to go up to do the next row. This is up chaining 2. Now if you want to, you can do all of these rows just double crochet and make a straight pair of gloves, but I wanted to do a bit of a fancy cuff. But if you want to just do the next rows double crochet, feel free to do that. So as I said, that's row 1. You could do row 2 and 3 plain double crochet, but I'm going to make a fancy kind of a cuff here, and I'm going to show you how to do front post double crochets and then back post double crochets. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go yarn over and put it underneath this post, go down, and then up the other side of that post, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through 2, yarn over, pull it through 2. That's a front post double crochet. Now we're going to do the back post. So yarn over just as if you're starting a double crochet, but this time we're going to go into the back, up from behind, and over top of the next double crochet and down. Put your yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through 2, pull it through 2. And the next one in the front. Pull it through 1, pull it through 2, pull it through 2. And now the next one, we're going to go in the back. So we're going to go in. It's kind of got to twist your hook and go behind. So you're coming in from behind and going over top of that post and pulling it through, pulling it through, pulling it through. So that is how we're going to be doing this cuff. And you'll see how it starts to grow. This is a front post. And then the next one, we're going to find the next one, and we're going to go in from behind and over top, because that's a back post. Each of the double crochets are being called a post, right? You see how they go down like posts, right? So now we're going to do a front one in the front, up, so that the post is in the front, yarn over, pull it through 2, pull it through 2. And then for the back post, we're going to go up from the back over the top, pull it through 2, pull it through 2, and that is how we're going to work all the way around for this row. And I'll meet you with so here we are at the end, and this is going to be a back post double crochet here at the end, and then we're going to just slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. Okay, I'm going to do it there and chain 2. Now we're going to do a second row of front post double crochet, back post double crochet, alternating, but you'll see now what we've created by doing this. That's the chain 2 from the previous row. That's the front post double crochet. So we've done front back to end, front back. You see the backs always go back, the fronts always go to the front. So when we look at it, it's front, back, front, back, front, back. So here we are. That's the chain 2 from the previous row, which we're not counting as a stitch, right? And that is the front post double crochet from the previous row. So what I do to get rid of this issue is I put my yarn over, and I'm going to do a front post double crochet, but instead of just going into the front of the front post, I'm going to go into the behind the chain 2 from the previous row as well, and the front post. So I'm going to pull it up and then finish my double crochet, and that has made it so we've got rid of that extra chain 2, because we did do, see, we've got that chain 2 still there. We've done one front post double crochet, but we've still got that turning chain, that chain 2. So now we're going to do the back post. Yarn over, go into the back post, and everything's going to be even now. We're going to be working front posts into front posts, back posts into back posts. So here's our next front. Yarn over, go in, down, and up with that double crochet in front of your hook. Yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through. Okay, and now we're going to do a back post with the double crochet at the back of the hook. Okay, yarn over, and here we are. You see it's at the front. There's the back, front, back, front, back. So we're going to go into the front, and this creates a rib texture. It's one way of doing ribbing with crochet. Back post double crochet and front post double crochet all the way around. That's all we're doing is those 2. Now if this is too much for you, you can just do 2 rows of double crochet and it will work. You'll still have your gloves. Okay, so here we are at the end of our second front post double crochet, alternating with back post double crochets, and we have a back post right here. So I'm finishing that one, and then I'm just going to chain it to the top here. Slip stitch it to the top there. Now I did mention I'm doing the medium size, which is where you chain 24. You can do the small or the large sizes. I will put a link to the written pattern below, so it'll give you all the details of how many rows to do of each and how many to do for the small sizes or for the larger size. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to chain 2, and for this particular one I'm going to carry on working in double crochet. So this is the first double crochet row, the first ribbing row, and the second ribbing row. So that's 3 rows all together. So I'm starting row 4 with just going into each stitch with a double crochet, and we're going to do row 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 double crochet rows. Okay, so we're just going to go double crochet all the way around, join with a slip stitch at the end. I'll meet you at the end of this first row. Okay, double crochet. So here we are at the end of our first row. You see how it transfers from the ribbing up to the regular stitching. There's my chain 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and we do our final double crochet in there. That's 24. Always check to make sure you've got the right amount of stitches on there. And we're going to chain 2, and we're going to work up to the end of row 8. Now, just to make it easier for some of you, what you're going to be needing is 20 stitches if you're making the small, and 28 stitches if you're making the large. Okay, but I am going to put a link to the pattern below. Okay, and the other thing is the different sizes, the small and the large, will have maybe an extra row in there from time to time just to make things fit. Okay, so we're going to carry on now just working in double crochets all the way up until the end of round 8. Okay, so I will see you there. Just double crochet into each of the previous stitches, okay, up till the end of round 8. So here we are at the end of row 8. I'll just show you how we've come to the end of row 8. That's 1, 2, 3. Remember all of those ribbed stitches, right? And then we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each of these is a row, okay? So we've come to the end of row or round 8 because we're making this in the round. We're going to go through the top of the chain 2 and slip stitch it together, and now we're going to chain up 2, and this is where we're going to make the hole for the thumb. Okay, so we're going to double crochet into the first stitch, and then we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, skip those 2 stitches, 1, 2. I'm going to put my thumb there. That's where we're going to be crocheting into that stitch, but we have to chain 2 first. 1, 2, chain 2 and skip 2 and double crochet into the third one. And what that's going to do is create a hole for our thumb. I'll show you what we're going to do in the next row. So that's 2, then 2 on there. So now we are going to double crochet into the next 21 stitches. So we've done 1, that's 1. So now we're going to do the rest of the 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to keep going until we've done 21 stitches, which will bring us back to the beginning. But you see how we've got that hole there. Okay, so just keep going until you can count 21 stitches from that hole. Okay, so here we are. We've done the chain, this is the beginning of the row, right? So we chained 2, then we double crocheted into the first, we skipped 2, we chained 2, and we did a double crochet into the third, 1, 2, third stitch, and then we had to do 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then we have 21. That's going to go into this last stitch here. And then we're going to join it to the top of the chain 2 here with a slip stitch. Okay, then we're going to chain 2, and now we're going to show you how we go over the top of here. So we're going to double crochet into that first one here, right there. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets into that hole over top of that chain 2. 1, and that fills back those stitches into our row. Magic, okay? And now we're going to do 21 to complete this row, okay? There's 1, 2, oops, 2, and keep going until you've got another 20. So here we go, I've done 20. I'm going to do 1 more into that space, 21, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 there, and chain 2. So there we are. We made this 8 rows up to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 9th row was where we chained 2 and skipped over 2 to make the hole. And the 10th row or round was where we went over the top and we completed the hole. So we're nearly done. So you can choose. You can either do 2 more rows if you don't like doing the front post double crochet, back post double crochet ribbing like this. You can just do 2 more rows of double crochet, fasten it off, and you'll be done. But I'm going to make these with the front post double crochets and the back post double crochets. So here we go again. So we're going to go into the first one, do our front post double crochet, go into the next one from behind to do our back post double crochet, go into the next one from the front, go up and bring it up the other side, do a front post double crochet. Now we're going to do a back one because this is front, back, front. So we go in from the back over the top of the double crochet, pull your hook right through that hole, and that's the back post. So we're going to work all the way around, alternating front post and back post double crochets until we get to the end. We're actually going to do 2 of these rows. Here we are at the end of the row, and we're ready to do our last back post double crochet. So yarn over, go up from the front, from behind, over the top and out the back again, and pull your yarn through and do 2. So that is the first round. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch, chain 2, and we're going to have to do the same situation we did before, where we're going to take care of that weird little chain 2 at the beginning of the round. So we're going to go through there. We can see the end, front post, back post, front post, back post. So we're going to start out like we did before. We're going to go through the chain 2 and the double crochet from the front to the back like that. So we've got those chain 2 that we started that round with, and the double crochet, front post double crochet there, and we've done a front post double crochet, and that's going to even everything up again. Okay, crochet, you can do that, and then we do a back post double crochet. Remember, as I said, if you don't want to do this fiddly faddly, if you don't feel that you're ready to be doing this front post double crochet, back post double crochet, that's totally okay. Just make double crochets. And if you want to, you can finish off your last row with just single crochets to maybe pull it all together if you want to. I'm hoping that by doing these videos, I'm giving you permission to explore and put your own little twist on things, not follow everything rigidly. So I'm going to go and finish this round, and this is going to be the end of this glove. And here we are at the end with our last back post double crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch it right into the top of that. We're going to cut it off, and I'll show you how to weave it. All right, so we'll pull that through, and then we've got our glove with the ribbing at the front, the top, and the bottom. How you know which is the top is because you have your thumb hole there. Okay, so I'm just going to weave in these ends. And as I said before, you can embellish these gloves and make them, put a heart on them. I do have a heart, how to make a heart applique video on my channel here. So you could find that out. I have it for putting it on a mason jar cozy, and also on a mug cozy. So it would look really nice if you wanted a pair of Valentine's gloves for somebody. I've got these big cronky scissors because I'm at my friend's. I'm having to make do. I had my beautiful little crochet scissors and I've lost them somewhere. I have no idea where they are. When you're looking after 2 dogs, it's like kind of a bit manic. So I'm sure they're down the couch somewhere. Trying to get my crochet things done for my YouTube and my podcast, my blog. Anyway, here we go. That's one end fastened off. And if you're new here, I always like to go back and forth 3 different directions, okay? That's kind of the rule of thumb when you're doing weaving in ends, is you go in 3 different directions, and that more or less ensures that it's going to be secure, okay? Just in case this is your first time with me here. Okay, and now we've got our gloves. And here we go. Aren't they beautiful? I love them. They're really nice summery fingerless gloves, and you can make them in white or any of your summer colors. You could use variegated yarns like a cake or something like that. And as I said, you can put appliques on for hearts. Check out my channel. I do have heart applique videos on here, left and right-handed. And yes, what do you think of these springtime, summertime fingerless gloves? I really don't have a name for them. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel. That would really help me out. And if you would like to be notified of new videos coming or whenever I do a live, please click on the bell and you'll get notifications. And enjoy your new gloves.